Welcome to the new podcast, episode number 129. My name is Steven. I am joined, as always, by producer extraordinaire,
Yo,
Kelly. And we got the co-host with the most, back in the side saddle again, my man, Kyle. What's happening, Kyle?
What's up?
Let's get to it.
man, your announcer voice is on point.
It gets better with age. It's almost like I'm a smoker or something. I wish.
That was good,
If I was a smoker, I probably would have had this voice a lot sooner than I did.
That was some Bruce Buffer type
Well,
stuff.
that's what we always talk about. You know what I mean? How like your voice always sounds weird on recording.
Yeah.
And I always felt that way too because I used to always like walk around with a recorder all the time. And
Weird.
yeah, I used to. Well, just in case, you know. No. It was like more just like for like sound bites, like back in the day when you had like when you would use like sound bites and shit like that.
Someone's prank calling.
Proof recording conversations.
No, not like that.
On July
You
19th,
son of a bitch! I got a tape for this.
You fucking said.
But my voice always sounded terrible. That's I think what everyone always thinks of their own voice always sounds terrible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sounds like shit.
No, it sounds totally fine.
Mine sounds like dog water.
Dog,
What?
dog water. Like a dog just burying his face in water.
Yeah.
Sounds exactly like that.
I don't hear it.
We've got a lot to get to this week with UFC and Bellator both going down. Saturday cards. We see the promotional debut of Yoel Romero. We'll break that down at the end of the show. Also going to talk some video games. The new PC era is upon us, and it is good. Going to break down some reviews of our tour of American McDonald's. And obviously, we're going to talk some MMA news. I had a kind of one of those heart-sinking moments. I always get my Slurpee before the show. I don't know what it is. It's so packed with sugar. You know what I mean? Rather than go get a coffee like a normal person, I go get a Slurpee like a child. And I love Slurpees. I just absolutely love them. And so I go into 7-Eleven. I got my Wendy's. So Wendy's and 7-Eleven right here, side by side. Go into get a $4 fucking Bacon Deluxe. You know what I mean? Which is, you know, it's on sale right now, $4. I'm like, how can I lose? Go get that. Plug in Wendy's. Go park in the parking lot of 7-Eleven. And I go in. I left my phone in the car. I'm like, oh, no big deal. I'll lock the doors. But as I'm walking out, I don't remember if I locked the doors. So I'm walking out with my Slurpee. And what do I see? I see this crackhead with a bag of Wendy's. But he's walking the opposite direction towards Wendy's. I'm like, motherfucker, he stole my Wendy's and my phone. So I run over my car just to make sure I don't confront this dude and drop kick him. You know, for no reason. Thank God my Wendy's and phone was still there. But I just thought, you know, just because of the way he was, like, he's walking towards Wendy's with a Wendy's bag. I'm like, fuck, this cunt just fucking opened my unlocked door and just fucking stole my Wendy's. And of course he stole my phone because it was right in the center console too. Thankfully for him, that I didn't have a heart attack beating him up for no reason. But
He's still a bum's Wendy's.
I know. Robbing this poor guy who knows he's getting his life back on track. You know what I mean? He had a rough night sleeping, but he pushed all of his drug friends away. He moved out of the drug den he was living in. He wakes up, the start of his new sober life. He goes get some Wendy's, and here he gets cold cock, sucker punched by some dude who thought he just stole his Wendy's and his phone. Thankfully for him and me, that did not happen. But one gripe I want to talk about, and we're just going with this stupid theme. You know, just with all the bullshit going on, just mask mandate being back in there. Mask being a big thing. It's no big deal. We've been in this for over 18 months now. To wear a mask inside a store is no big deal. But I went to Starbucks this morning for my wife's coffee, and here's a guy without a mask on. I walk in and here's the guy without a mask on. It's just one of those fucking weirdest thing, and just the look on their face, because I can't see you can't see the people's. That's what I like about wearing a mask. You can't see how ugly I really am. You just get to see the only part about my glistening eyes.
You got a face for radio.
I totally do. I absolutely do. But it's just the shit-eating grin on these fucking losers' fucking face. When you see these people, sticking up against the man and not wearing a mask, not wearing a collar or a fucking muzzle, going into a store. It's like, it's no big fucking deal, but just the look on and they're always looking at everyone. They're not like looking down or looking away or looking at one point.
No, they're looking for a confrontation.
Exactly, they're totally looking for a confrontation. And this dude was the biggest fucking D-bag I had ever seen that he was a fucking mall kiosk graphic t-shirt wearing, comb over, hospital protesting piece of shit is who this guy was. And you're just totally looking for a confrontation. It's like, I don't give a fuck. Do what you want to do. Get the vaccine, don't get the vaccine, wear a mask, don't wear a mask. But if you want to get your fucking Starbucks, you're gonna have to wear a mask. I'm surprised.
Not.
Yeah, I know. But that's what I'm saying. I'm surprised that they did serve him and didn't raise a fuss about it.
That's like I was at a grocery store and there's a guy with his nose completely hanging out of his mask.
And that's just the weirdest thing too. Half-assing it too. You know what I mean?
Do you believe in magic? Like, what's going on here?
I'm sure the people at Starbucks are told, like, just let it go.
Just let it go. Exactly.
There's no sense on getting.
Of course, and getting in, and that's what this guy wants. He just had his wife found out his wife banged another dude for the fifth time.
She banged the crackhead that stole your Wendy's.
No, not even. She banged the dude from McDonald's.
Oh fuck!
She got plowed for a McChicken. But this is the fifth time it's happened this month, so he's gonna take it out on a fucking person that has to deal with the public and can't fight back, or they'll lose their job. That's what this guy was. That's what it looked like this guy was going out for. You know what I mean? And then they didn't give him what he wanted. You know what I mean? They didn't give him what he wanted. They didn't give him the argument. They didn't give him the confrontation. He spent up all night while she was out. She was out getting plowed and not responding to his texts by watching YouTube videos of dudes who are sitting in their basement. That's why I always love all these conspiracy theorists. They want to call us sheep. You didn't come up with this idea. You didn't come up with all these conspiracy theories. You didn't come up with it. You're a fucking bigger loser than the people who did come up with these conspiracy theories. And I'm a sheep. You're a dumbass sheep. You're a sheep that got your head ran over by a fucking tractor because you're following the idiot who has no credentials at all, but he has a YouTube channel. That's very believable. And he had his brother-in-law do all the fancy graphics on it to catch your eye because shiny things fucking really get you going.
Tell us
how you
really
feel.
I'm just so tired of these people, man. I'm just so tired of these people. Get over it. No one gives a shit about you. You know what I mean? If you want to protest a hospital and be a piece of shit, you want to protest a school and be a piece of shit. It just fights. It's even more fuel to the fire. To the people saying that you are absolutely ridiculously out of this world with just stupidness, with just the absolute most crazy kooky shit. You should be put on a rocket and sent into the sun. Really, it's true. Protesting a elementary school?
Yeah, that's
what do those kids and teachers do? These people are working through it. Protesting a hospital? The nurses don't want to see that. The nurses are going to be quitting in droves because now you're protesting them doing their work because it's all a big conspiracy theory. You know what I mean? And then what happens? So are these people, when they get sick, that was my big thing. When you get sick, if you're a protester, an anti-masker, anti-vaxxer, whatever, heaven forbid you get COVID really badly and have to end up in the ICU. What happens if you get a bad car accident? Are you expecting these same people that you protested against to look after you and put you back together? Are you expecting that? I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. Like, what is your thought process here? Are you protesting hospitals altogether? But, like, where are you going to go when you get sick or when you get injured and hurt? Who's going to look after you? YouTube doctor? Is there a YouTube hospital? I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I'm really confused. The thought process behind it. You know what I mean? That's just the ice wall shit. There's all these different things with conspiracy theories. That it just, what's the end game? You know what I mean? What is your end game here? But protesting hospitals is just the craziest one. What's your end game here? And especially, what are you going to do if you get sick? Where are you going? Hit me up, because I don't know. If you have some magical place, I may want to try it out too. I may want to try to go to that YouTube hospital. Maybe they get better service. I don't know.
That's hilarious.
And that's my gripe for today.
End of rant.
I watched a few of these videos where like people are claiming to be nurses and against like the COVID vaccine, or like they're like TikToks or whatever, but like in like a video format, and it's like going from like, oh, I don't recommend getting a shot, blah blah blah, and then they get COVID, and then some of them actually pass away. And then, like, a bunch of them that claim to be nurses, they did, like, research on them, and they're not even nurses.
Not at all. Yeah. Most of the people, all these people who are saying they're doctors and nurses, they aren't at all. And they're, like, naturopaths.
Yeah, and then one lady actually got it really bad, and then she said she actually got the vaccine after telling people not to get it and, like, liking all these posts that people aren't getting it. Then she got COVID, and then when she was really sick with COVID, she's still telling people, oh, I got the vaccine, but I don't recommend getting it, and then she passed away. So even on her way, her deathbed, she's still telling people to kill themselves, basically.
Wow.
That's fucked.
It's like, wow, way to stay committed, I guess.
For the cause!
For the cause.
She died, what a martyr!
What
for
is the cause? What is the cause again? Just not getting the vaccine? That's the cause? Okay.
The government. It's always like the underpants gnomes, you know, in South Park, the underpants gnomes. You know what I mean? Step 1, steal underwear. Step 2, question mark. Step 3, profits. You know what I mean? Like that should be that's the anti-vaxxers code right there.
Yeah.
The conspiracy theorist code. You know what I mean? They don't really. What do you? And that's why I was loving to. Now you got this information. What are you doing with it? What do you make in the world? How are you making the world better? You got all this information now. What's your next step? Yeah. Share stuff on Facebook. That'll show them. You know what I mean?
And my favorite is like, they keep censoring this. They keep taking it down. And then it's like, how come it's been up for a week?
I
don't like, who's censoring it?
Just ridiculousness. I believe in freedom of speech and this and that, but it's just like this is harmful. This is harmful information. You're spreading fake news. You're spreading lies.
They don't show this in the media. They're showing it
because it's not real.
I only have a couple anti-vaxxers on my Facebook.
Yeah,
that's literally all they post is just anti-vax bullshit.
Basic bitches.
Like, they don't even post about their lives anymore. They're just like, oh, take down the system. It's like it's fucked.
Yeah, and that's the extent that these people are doing. You know, protesting a hospital is counterproductive. Protesting a school is counterproductive, and sharing stuff on Facebook is counterproductive. All these things aren't doing anything for their cause. It's just comical. Like I said, it's comical, and it's sad and quite pathetic. It's incredibly pathetic, in my opinion. In my opinion, and I have friends that are super conspiracy theorist people as well. You know what I mean? And I'll have the conversation with them. Definitely. But it just, as I said, as in media and as in a whole, it's just not doing anything. You're not helping anything.
From what I read, to be fair, on the other side, there is some people who have adverse reactions to the vaccine.
100%.
Those are usually people that have it to the flu shot too. So you kind of know if you had a flu shot before how you're going to react kind of to a vaccine. But there has been some reactions.
People have died from getting the vaccine.
Yeah.
That very, very few. But there have been a few people who've died from the vaccine. Yeah. I'm not disputing any of those actual facts. People have gotten heart problems from taking the vaccine.
Yeah.
People have gotten sick from taking the vaccine. Very, very few. And if you're going to weigh the odds, I've known people who ended up super healthy people that ended up in the ICU on a ventilator and in a drug-induced coma because of COVID. Mm-hmm. I would rather take my chances of like 0.1% of getting sick from the vaccine than ending up in an ICU bed and dying alone without my family there. Mm-hmm. I'm going to take those chances. You know what I mean? Because I've seen what has happened to healthy people, and I don't want nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing.
Moving on.
Exactly. Let's talk some MMA news. The vaccination podcast back on track here.
Let's vaccinate some steroids.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Give me some Pfizer in my dick.
Wow.
What the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
That's Viagra.
That's supposed to cure everything. I watched a YouTube video about it. Big announcement. Big announcement this week, and we will see the return of Japanese sensation Koji Horiguchi back in Bellator, becoming a free agent and leaving Rizin, coming over to Bellator, and he wants his belt back, calling out Sergio Pettis. I think this makes perfect sense, and what the craziest thing about this fight is, it is perfect timing for Horiguchi. I think he crushes Pettis. I think, Pettis is normally a 125er. I know Horiguchi obviously fought a 125, but he is a massive 135er. Now finally healthy off that nasty knee injury he had. Returning stateside, and he wants that belt back. Obviously, I think he'll just kind of be a Ronin, if you will, a free agent moving between Bellator and Rizin. Who knows? Maybe UFC comes calling again if he gets enough wins underneath his belt, which he has. Obviously that minor speed bump with Kai Asakura, kind of derailing all of his plans. But obviously, that knee injury was a big part of it. Coming back to America, I think, is the best plan for him. A huge guy over at ATT Florida. I think this is going to be a massive move for him, and it's going to be a great, could we see the rematch? I don't think we'll see the rematch against Darian Caldwell. I think we will see, obviously, the fight against Antonio McKee and Koji Horiguchi, and I think that is going to be a fight that's going to put asses in seats for Bellator. Obviously putting, just saying, the Rizin bantamweight belt versus the Bellator bantamweight belt is a huge move right now. There's also a lot of talks, speaking of co-promotions, there's a lot of talks where Bellator and Rizin have always been working together. There's also now a rumor of Bellator and PFL holding a big co-promotion show of champion versus champion. I don't think it translates over quite as well. I think obviously the main fight that they want to see is going to be their champion, Kayla Harrison, against the toughest and biggest women's MMA vet in Chris Cyborg Santos. Does PFL have the roster to be able to go against them in like the light heavyweights and the heavyweights and welterweight, middleweight? Do they have it? I don't think they do, but I think that those guys could play the spoiler coming over to Bellator, who is supposed to be the quintessential number 2 MMA organization, and only time will tell if that one goes through. They're saying there's a lot of hoops to jump through, but that is what Scott Coker wants to do, and obviously Ray Sefo as well. Both dudes want to have that as a big move, to compete with the UFCs. Maybe have a year-end event, where it is champions versus champions at a year-end event. I would love to see that, and kind of a spit in the face to the UFC, saying, hey, look what we can do. Our champions are fighting each other, and you guys aren't going to join because you guys think you're better, but hey, we're putting on a good show. I think it'd be a good promotion for both guys. One of the biggest rematches will be on the horizon and will also bolster UFC 269. We will see the flyweight champion Brandon Moreno defend against former champ Deivson Figueiredo, going down December 11th to really bolster. We got some massive cards coming up here, Kelly, with UFC 268 super stacked, UFC 269, and we will also see a massive announcement come down for UFC 270 in January, where we will see New Zealand versus Australia again for the 185-pound belt, where Israel Adesanya will take on Robert Bobby Knuckles Whitaker.
Nice.
It is official. It is official. Who? I gotta ask you here first, Kelly, before we get into the breakdown of this. In the rematch, does Whitaker come back, or do we see the same old song and dance with Adesanya putting him out again?
I got Whitaker.
Whoa! For the comeback!
Yep.
Kelly going Whitaker. What do you got? Who do you got, Kyle, on that one?
Adesanya.
Whoa!
Sadly.
Sticking with the hot hand.
Sorry, Morgan.
Sticking with the hot hand. Sticking with the champ. And I don't know, man. It's going to be a coin toss. I think Whitaker's obviously going to come back in strong. Obviously, I think you got to go with the dude who won the first one in Adesanya. I think he's obviously got to be the favorite. I don't think he's going to be heavily favored, but he's definitely got to be the favorite. I think this one has to go down. I think with everything that's going down with Australia and New Zealand having the strictest lockdown rules in the world, really. I think this one's going to end up in Australia, if anywhere, and maybe we'll have a huge Australia card, with a lot of all Australian fighters or all New Zealanders versus Australians, something like that. I think it's the only way it's going to have to work. If it's going to work in Australia, or it'd have to work outside. It all depends. With all the shit up in the air right now, with obviously how bad shit's swirling around with the Delta variant and just not enough people being vaccinated. It's just one of those things where who knows. This fourth wave is really affecting us worse than it was in the earlier waves.
How is Australia doing?
No, well, they're doing okay, but as soon as they get one case, they shut down everything. They had 3 cases, shut down everything, and then now it's kind of blown up. The Delta variant has really taken over there, and it's kind of actually blown up pretty good. I think they're kind of out of it again because they just go on super strict lockdowns, and everyone's been fine with it. I think obviously they know for the greater good, but it's one of those things where they don't let people in and they don't let people out. Yeah. That's the biggest thing. Well, everything's in lockdown.
I think everybody's just kind of sick of it too.
Obviously,
everybody's over it.
Oh, big time. I'm over the most. I'm so sick and tired of this shit. So sick and tired of it altogether. Everything. I'm just tired of hearing people fighting one way or the other, and just dealing with this crap in general. Having shit ramped up. I said a few weeks ago, we can't move backwards. We cannot move backwards at all. But I know Calgary is a perfect example of not. Of someone that's going to move backwards extremely hard. But backpedaling as well, who do you think takes the rubber match between Moreno and Figueiredo? Kelly, who do you think takes that rubber match?
Moreno.
Yeah. Kyle, who you going with?
The same.
I think you have to. I think it's a sweep across the board for the And New podcast here because I was surprised Figueiredo went back down. I thought he was going to have to move to 135 for sure. He's constantly getting super sick. These weight cuts. These weight cuts are just making him super sick. His last fight looked terrible because he was so, he got obviously so sick from the weight cut. And it's just one of those things where I think we're going to have to start seeing what they have in PFL is the thing where if you have a certain water weight, you can't fight because you've depleted your body so much that you will not be able to fight because of the brain damage you're going to get and just how hard it's going to affect your body. And I think Figueiredo is a perfect example of that, of a dude who has to move to 135 as you get older too, right? Just the weight cuts are obviously just affecting him so hard now, and dude could barely stand on the scale.
Yeah.
And now you're going to go run it back and do it again? Jeez Louise. You're so depleted before a fight you cannot even stand. And then within 24 hours, you're supposed to fight a man. At the highest level in combat sports. Yes, exactly. You're not just fighting some guy. You're fighting the champ. You're fighting the champ. Either way, I was, a little bit surprised by this announcement, but I think it's put it to rest now. Put it to rest now, and I think it's maybe Figueiredo is going to move to 135. Put the fight to rest now. Let them move on. I just don't think they have a whole lot. I know with Pantoja beating Brandon Royval, I think they really wanted the Royval Moreno rematch. Where Brandon Royval dislocated his shoulder in that fight, in their first fight. But I think with Alejandro Pantoja, I think he's obviously going to be the next in line for the belt. But I think they obviously he just had a brawl, so I think they're probably going to want more time before they let him come in. I think he's a good fighter, Pantoja, but I just don't know if he's ready for the test yet. Maybe one more fight. He's looked really good at 125 against all of his opponents, but I think I can't remember who he fought before Brandon Royval, but he didn't look great. He did get beat up pretty good, and I think maybe they want to have him have a contendership belt before they give him this fight. And obviously the 125-pound belt will be put on hold up until December and then some. It definitely would be March at the very earliest, so we would see that belt get challenged for again. Big news coming down this week. The Gable Steveson sweepstakes have been claimed, and he is taking his talents over to the WWE. obviously makes total sense to be, go through the WWE, go through that training camp as they, WWE's loved it. They're gold medalists, with obviously Kurt Angle having massive success, and now we have a heavyweight coming over and a dude who was a huge wrestling fan, and having to go through the training camp of the performance center of the WWE, as opposed to the offer he got from UFC was the Contender Series. That was his offer. We'll put you in the Contender Series, and I'm sure he was only probably gonna, does he really want UFC? Does many people want UFC right now, Kelly? I don't know if he does.
Nothing.
Yeah, and make nothing. Here you go. We'll put you on the Contender Series. We'll pay you $5,000. You know what I mean? We'll pay you $5,000 to get some brain damage, and we may give you a contract or not. And I'm sure WWE was like, here's $1 million. So I think the decision was probably pretty easy to make. Here's $1 million contract, and you don't even have to compete every day, and we'll let you squash some dudes, and who knows, maybe you get to go to WrestleMania and shit. I would take that 10 times out of 10 over being put up against some fucking super tough dude. They're going to bring me up in the UFC. He's probably 10-0 in his regional circuit. Just one badass dude, and I've just been a collegiate wrestler who's been tough as hell too. But they're going to put me up against feed me to the wolves against some dude who has extreme MMA experience. Bad move by the UFC. I think obviously they want to let him have some experience before they really give him an actual bona fide contract, but they could have made him his guy. That's the thing. PFL obviously didn't have enough money, and I think UFC could have molded him into their guy. I think obviously they're afraid of the previous calls they've made with dudes who weren't that good. Obviously CM Punk is the biggest one, and and I just think it's one of those things that UFC wasn't willing to take the risk. I think in my opinion this was a risk that they should have been willing to take.
Did you say CM Punk wasn't like a good risk? Because I thought he did excellent. People still talking about it. He left quite the legacy behind.
He did. He was 0-2, and somehow that dude tests positive for weed like years later. 4 years later, you test positive for weed somehow.
Yeah.
And then so now you're 0-1-1. I don't think that makes it any better.
What a flop.
Floppiest. But it's going to be interesting to see where Gable Steveson fits into WWE. Will he get to the main roster right away, or will he move instantly to NXT? Only time will tell. They're just very interesting to see. The sweepstakes are over. He's found a landing spot, and we'll report on how he turns out. One really interesting bit of news to come down this week, and I had to save it for the end here. It's always one of those weird things when people don't give you all the information. And that's why I'm very skeptical of this. I've seen it time and time again. I've been an MMA fan for a very, very long time, and there was breaking news earlier in the week of a brand new MMA promotion going to be debuting in 2023. It's going
quite a while.
Yeah, I know. And that's what I thought was really weird about it. It's a number of influential individuals have come together to create a new MMA league that is structured like professional sports, like the NBA and the NHL.
With Fighters Union?
I'm not sure if that's what they are saying. They are saying there will be health insurance, there will be career-ending insurance, and even a pension plan. And they will be announcing. They said it was supposed to be the actual thing was supposed to be announced in the coming days. Now it's been almost a week, and nothing else has been announced about this. There will be an athletes association, so not typically a union, but an association is better than nothing. Yeah. I think when it comes to this, they're also the biggest thing is there will be a 50-50 revenue share. So I think they're saying a lot of things to turn heads. Whether or not this event even opens the door, I would be so shocked. MMA promotion is gotta be the hardest, the absolute hardest thing to do. I remember this dude coming to me a long, long time ago, just with how crazy I was with him, and this dude had a lot of dough, and he asked me, is there any money in promoting MMA? Starting a local organization or promoting an organization? I said, Absolutely none. You will be losing money until the day you close the doors. You will be losing money right from the get-go right to the end. There is zero money, and the UFC and Bellator. I'd be surprised if Bellator was really Bellator is probably making a little bit of profit. UFC is making a huge profit. And, ONE FC is this magical organization which made they keep saying they're making a profit, but they keep getting these $200 million donations. I'm doing air quotes. So they're losing. They're apparently, not involved with organized crime at all. Yeah. That's what I always love.
Not suspicious.
We're paying all of these broadcast organizations to promote us, to say how good we are. We're making them sign a clause that if they say anything bad, we'll sue them. And we're making money every year, even though we're saying we're making money, but the numbers would say otherwise, that they're losing hundreds of millions a year. And ONE FC is a perfect example. They have not made a dime, but they keep getting these donations that put them over into the plus. They lost $149 million last year, Kelly.
Wow.
But
I think I donated $40 million, though.
But somebody, no, that's the thing though. But somebody donated $200 million at the end of the year.
Wow.
So, that's not the same as
generous.
profit. That's not the same as profit. That's what they always keep saying. We made a profit. No, you didn't. you had some triads give you a bunch of money because they're obviously laundering money through you. This is just basics. 100%. This is just basic math. But I digress. This it's going to be interesting. I'm all for the more promotions. It helps with fighters. It helps with contracts, and I love the UFC, but I don't like the monopoly of the UFC, the stranglehold the UFC has over the sport. And I think with more promotions, you see new rising stars that maybe didn't get the chance. Maybe they pissed off Dana White, and then they will never ever get a chance. It adds to the melting pot of MMA, and I think it strengthens it. It strengthens the MMA as the union, not like a fighters union, but I think it strengthens the union of the fighters togetherness. Having that brotherhood or womanhood of fighters. That have a second home, have a third home, have a fourth home of a place where if they see a skid, that their career isn't over. And that's what UFC does. UFC will make or break you. And you see these people getting put up against, there's really no, you're going to go these real minor league organizations, and then you get thrown right to the wolves as soon as you get a 10-0 or a 9-0 a record. You get thrown right to the wolves, thrown right to the spotlight of the biggest organization in the UFC, but that's where these people think they're doing it, and they're doing it for like $30,000.
Yeah.
And sometimes less. Yeah. And that's, $30,000,
Doesn't even pay for your camp.
No, not at all. And then you talk about taxes. That's not tax free.
Yeah.
Taxes off top of that. And you can't, you can't do any kind of self-promoting.
It's supposed to start in 2 years?
Yeah, 2023. I'd be very surprised.
Interesting. That's when GSP's contract with the UFC expires.
Well, I'll be damned.
Oh shit!
I just looked that up because I knew he was all about the fighter union.
Yep.
He wants to fight. He was trying to get that boxing fight.
Yep.
I think if he waits 2 years, he can still get it.
Well, maybe he'll be like a president or something even too.
Yeah.
He'll be like a major player with it.
I'd like to see the list of. Because they said it was created by influencers.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a list. I'd like to see a list of
Well, I guarantee you if GSP
before
fights.
I make my judgment.
Well, I think it's former and current sports athletes right now. They're saying it's like NBA, NHL, and NFL players.
Yeah.
So it's probably like what the UFC is owned by is a major investment company.
Yeah.
That just makes millions and millions and millions and billions. I'm sure that's probably what the same thing is. Probably just some investment company owned by a lot of players who have nothing but money to bankroll, and they were smart with their money by investing. And I think it's probably something they could. If you get it right, if you start off on the top, get enough names, get the right promotional value, and and get on that angle. There's always that angle you got to have in order to really rattle some cages. I don't know what's going to happen though. Like I said, it's going to be tough to turn a profit starting from scratch with basically no people. PFL is kind of doing it, but I'd be very surprised if they're making money at all.
And the main event will be GSP for somebody.
Conor McGregor.
Yeah, no, maybe Khabib, and then the co-main will be like Mike Tyson versus Logan
Conor
Paul.
McGregor.
Conor McGregor.
Connor, he just fighting everybody.
That'd be funny if he did. He's like, hey, you want to do a 50-50 split? Conor's like, yeah, will my proper 8 be everywhere? Can I punch fans? Then I'm in.
Machine Gun Kelly versus Conor McGregor.
Jesus.
You know, I read the story. The thing is, Conor wanted a photo with his girlfriend, Megan Fox.
Oh, yeah.
And then Machine Gun Kelly was like, no, and kind of like pushed him aside.
Your girl's in my DMs.
Yeah, and then Conor got super offended because he got pushed.
Wow.
And that's what all started. Yeah.
I would be offended if somebody would push me with all that bedazzling he had on his face. What was up with that? Come on, Machine Gun Kelly.
He's like 6'8" and 100 pounds.
Yeah. I know, yeah. That's what I was going to say, too. It's like
soaking wet.
I know.
If 100
He would get whooped because he just fucking paperweight.
So. It'd be the first person Conor took down right away.
Hey-oh. I just don't know. I don't know. That bedazzling was a weird move.
Yeah, I don't think he'd need to get taken down.
No, I'm pretty sure he'd probably one punch him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, there's a picture of like Machine Gun Kelly putting his face like right in Conor's face. I'm sure he could have if he wanted to.
He'd hit him so hard he really would think he was in Motley Crue. He'd hit him.
Oh shit!
He'd knock him out back to the 80s. I don't know if he was born in the 90s. He was probably born in the 90s.
Yeah, I think so. Still bring back the 80s.
He's just a baby.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Interesting news about the new MMA league, though. We'll keep you guys posted with all the turning events when it comes to that. Like I said, more promotions, the better. I'm a huge MMA fan. I love watching MMA, and that's why I used to always watch, back in the day. That's where I really knew I was an MMA fan. Staying up till like fucking 2 a.m. watching fucking Icon. So exhausted watching Icon and, Hawaiian organization where it was fucking 18 fights. Jesus. And the main event was like Phil Baroni versus Kalakale Hose, and it was like, I'll never forget it. Just like or like watching the Irish cards at 4 a.m., staying up all night, and partying, and then watching. I think it was like Forrest Griffin. I can't remember, on that first UFC Irish card. I can't remember who the fuck he was fighting, back in the day. Good times. More the better. How about that football, Kyle?
I'm watching Red Zone right now.
Woo! We have the Broncos are 2-0.
Oh, they're playing easy teams.
Still,
but a win's a win.
A win's a win. Yep, win's a win.
Steelers lost today.
They lost the first game. They win the first game against the Bills that they were supposed to get crushed in.
Yep.
They win that one somehow and then lose to the team they were supposed to crush.
TJ Watt is a huge factor, I think.
Obviously,
for sure. Him going.
They had the same problems last year when they lost a ton of linebackers due to injury. They just couldn't do it. Let's hope that injury isn't serious. But even then, he's going to come back 80%, 60%. Yeah. You got to be 100% to be effective in the NFL. So even him coming back, maybe it will garner double teams and shit like that. That open it up for other guys. But that was an injury they did not need.
And a groin injury is no joke either.
No, exactly. That's an injury that takes a long time to rehab.
If there's anywhere on my body I don't want to injure, it's probably my groin.
Well, especially, that's where you definitely you're getting your power from. TJ's not a huge dude. He's getting his power, pushing up against those blockers, that's all from your groin.
But he's got that $150 million groin.
That's, that's the thing. There was that other dude that played for that was a defensive end that was playing for the Eagles. He just he got a huge contract and blew out his Achilles tendon.
Yeah.
It happens.
I sprained my neck once. That was pretty bad.
What do you, in your professional opinion, though, that's the reason why I bring it up. How quickly do you think someone come back from a groin tear?
Oh, dude, I don't even know. I've never even looked that up.
Yeah,
I've never torn a groin before.
All I know is it's not going to be quick.
No.
Could be season ending. If they want to protect their investment.
Are they calling it a tear or a sprain?
Well, that's the thing. They don't know. They don't know enough yet. Yeah, exactly.
Can you sprain a muscle?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, you could sprain it.
Either way, it is not good for the Steelers, Steeler Nation. It's just as sad as that dude washing the shit out of his pants at the game.
That's hilarious.
Eating too many chimichangas.
Welcome back, NFL. Washing your shit off in the city.
Why would you just leave?
I don't know.
Why would you just leave? That's what I'm saying.
I'd just go out there I guess you don't have boxers on. whatever.
Your boxers
Go
are shit
buck
into.
naked.
I would just go home.
My jersey.
I'm just going home. How drunk was that guy? Like I said, too,
And it was at the
in Las Vegas.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Some people can't do Vegas, man.
I know. It's typically if someone takes a picture of you washing your pants because you shit them in the sink in the stadium, that's how bad you're. That's how bad. That's a bad day.
He was
and his team lost.
He was up till 3 a.m. doing blow last night. And
Probably.
like, let's get tickets to the football game.
And then had a breakfast burrito from McDonald's.
Yep.
Come on, man. Other people need to use the hand dryer.
Hey, man, have you ever been to the bathroom with a guy doing a shower and a fucking drying off?
Yeah.
And that's one of the worst smells ever.
Oh,
that's one of the worst smells
That's
ever.
rough. He's had a rough weekend.
He's had a rough weekend.
Probably flew to Vegas just for the game, too. He's like,
Guaranteed.
Hey, we're going to Vegas, going to watch the game. And he shits himself.
And he shits himself.
Oh, man, what's all this shit in the sink?
That's the worst part. Going back, you know what I mean? You're the guy after him. After he's left, you don't even know what's happened.
Yeah.
You don't even know what's happened. And it's
You just know the washroom stinks real bad.
And then, like, it could be all over the tap. And it was probably touchless. Everything's probably touchless in there. But still, either way.
I'm getting some bad visuals here.
I know. Bad smell-ubles. Bad sense. Good stuff. Good stuff. Let's talk some working out. What kind of working out you been getting up to, Kelly? How you been rehabbing well?
Oh, yeah. I still go to physio 3 times a week.
Nice.
Yeah, you look like you're rehabbing well.
What?
The whole right side of your body's got...
Oh, yeah. I got a few
Wraps
sleeves
on
it right now.
Yeah.
But that's more because I'm almost 40 than anything else.
You look like you're going to go play some touch football.
It's all wrapped up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've been doing physio 3 times a week. I've been swimming, like doing laps at the local pool.
Nice.
Around 3 times a week. And then I probably lift like 4 times a week. But just like lighter weight because still not 100% yet. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been
Nice. I got to get back to the pool, man. Pools are fun.
Man, doing laps is so much harder, like in a pool than running. I've said it before.
Yeah. Oh, big time.
But, like holy, like my like I can run for quite a while, like jogging for quite a while before I even feel a little bit fatigued. My lungs can feel on fire within like 10 minutes of just doing laps.
Absolutely. Are they checking QR codes there?
They are not doing anything for the pool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But if you want to go to weight room, they do.
Oh, really? Oh, okay,
Yeah.
Interesting.
But if you pay to get in, you could use both. Like you can use the weights and
Right.
then like do laps or vice versa if you wanted.
Nice.
But if you want to use weights, yeah, you have to use it.
Huh.
But I don't really care.
Of course.
I would never go to a public gym again.
Yeah, you got your own home gym too,
Yeah.
right? Why, you know what I mean, wipe down shit or have to, you know what I mean, deal with some dude who's just juiced to the gills, you know, grunting his way through his reps.
Yeah. And you know, the population's so crazy in the city now that it's hard to even get on a machine. Like people just take up the bench press and sit there listening to music in between sets and shit. And it's like it's hard now
that's
to like
disgusting.
actually get a machine now or like a bench or anything. So it's easier just building your own gym or
There you
just
go.
buying shit. Yeah.
There you go.
I want to get more bands though. I have one.
Nice. You like the band's workout, Kyle?
I haven't worked out in a while.
Yeah.
I did. I worked out just doing physio.
Yeah.
Mostly, and I use my bands for that. And
Nice.
It's pretty good. I like it. But yeah, I haven't worked out in a while.
Well, I just like the flexibility of it, you know, pardon the pun, you know, of the bands, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You really, you know what I mean, just the different shit you can do with them, the different tension you can get
Yeah.
with them.
Yeah.
You know, you see a lot of the wrestlers do it because it's compact.
Yeah.
You know, it's super compact. I would like to see, has anyone died from one of those things breaking, though? I want to see the numbers on that.
I don't think
I
so.
think if you get like a legit like quality one, not just
Yeah.
some cheap one,
Yeah.
100%.
you're gonna be good. The thing too is like people used to get like those big Bowflex
Yep.
machines
I
and
had a
shit
Bowflex.
and put them in their garage.
Yeah.
These
Yeah.
bands are pretty much the same and they're like way easier.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's pretty much exact because the Bowflex was just bars that bend. These
Yeah.
are bands that pull. You know, it's the same shit.
And it's not like 5
Well,
pavements
the
of
good thing about-
$8.99.
Yeah, exactly.
The good thing about bands is that you have more weight on the higher end of your rep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like it's easier on your joints and muscles and everything like that too.
That's why it's not very popular with the CrossFit people. It's actual working out. So they're all like momentum. You know what I mean? They're like momentum pull-ups, momentum lifts.
Which
you know
is
what I mean?
like,
That's not really working out.
I was watching his GIF the other day, and it was just like, oh, look how many pull-ups this guy's doing.
And
I'm like, he's not doing one pull-up. He's just flinging his
body
in the air.
He's like a gymnastic.
Yeah,
really.
not a single pull-up. I'm still waiting.
Yeah.
Still, you know what I mean? It's. I understand it's a somewhat of a different workout, but you really get that pull up. You know, from an actual slow and go pull up, you get that real feel of a muscle tear. You know what I mean? Of real working and of that real pain. You know what I mean?
Well, you can tell the difference between like a real slow cadence rep versus like just popping reps out.
Yeah.
Just like 1 second up, 1 second down type thing. Like it's obviously when I was working, I always found like 2 seconds up, 2 seconds down. It was always better. You got a way better pump from it.
Absolutely, because you're holding that muscle.
A little bit of a stall
for sure. You know what I mean? You're not like that. Just because you're stopped doesn't mean the muscle is stopped. The muscle is holding.
Yeah,
absolutely. You really get a really like I said, that real burn.
Speaking of Bowflex, you can get them online on like Facebook Marketplace for between like $150 to like $400 for like one of the extreme ones.
Well, it's like that with everything.
We sold ours for like $170 or something. Like we just wanted to get rid of it.
Absolutely,
like, just collecting dust, and we're like, $170 first one to pick it up. Some dude came in a car. He came in a car.
That is hilarious.
He's like, oh, does it come apart? I'm like, it bolts apart.
Did you bring tools?
Yeah. No, I took it apart for him. I have
nice.
Obviously power tools.
Yeah,
so
nice. You just want him to get the fuck out of it too.
He's like, hey, can you load this in here? And his wife was like, it's
Louise.
not going to fit in there. And we're like, we'll make it fit.
Well, the thing is, like a lot of people, you know, in the beginning of the pandemic, they all thought, I'm going to take advantage of this and work out. And, you know what I mean? And then that lasted for about a week, right?
Yeah, for sure.
The excuses are aplenty. And I am one of the most excuses. So I have not really done any working out. I'm probably back up to, above 220. But I've been doing a lot of overtime. That's my excuse. Overtime. I'll get back on that horse one of these days.
I just follow this guy on Instagram. Talked about him before, David Goggins. And if you want to get motivated, just watch a few of his videos, man. Like, I don't even need to talk about it.
Yeah.
David Goggins, Instagram. He's on some other shit, too. I'm sure he's on Facebook and other things. But he does, like, almost daily videos. And the guy's crazy. But he's the guy who talks about defeating your inner bitch and all that stuff.
Absolutely. No, definitely.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm the worst for it. The worst for coming up with an excuse. The worst.
Yeah.
Time is of the essence, too, right? But... 15 minutes, 20 minutes here, is stuff that you can do every day.
Yeah.
That, will help. You know what I mean? And doing nothing is not helping at all.
Well, I think he's the one who also said something like, what was it, like motivation or whatever. It's like, it doesn't exist. Like, if you don't think about it, you just like, okay, I got to do my workout 5 minutes in. Like, you won't even care.
Oh, absolutely.
Before,
yep.
You know what I mean?
100%. Yeah. Once you get going, that's like with everything. Once you get going, it's fine.
Yeah.
The best workout is the one you didn't want to do.
100%.
Every day.
Wow. How motivational is that?
Every day is my best workout.
Kyle. Words of wisdom by Kyle.
Well, it's true. Like, every time you feel like you don't feel like working out, you're like, oh, I'm tired, I'm not going to do it. And then you actually do it. And
I hear you.
You have the best workout.
I hear you.
I should take my own advice because, like you, I'm also the king of excuses.
King of being lazy.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of being lazy and motivated at the same time, back by popular demand, reviewing the reviews. And we're talking McDonald's, the laziest, most disgusting place that I fucking love. I wanted to do Aspen, Colorado, but Aspen doesn't have a McDonald's.
What? Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
What? Typical. It's so typical of a hoity-toity place like that.
Does Whistler have a McDonald's?
They must.
I haven't been to Whistler.
They must.
Yeah,
they must. But
Aspen's like the Whistler.
Aspen just got rid of it just recently. They just got rid of it recently.
Good for you guys.
Did they have an Arby's?
Maybe. It's quite small. I guess that's the thing. Aspen's actually quite tiny. But so I had to go to the capital. I don't know if it's capital, whatever. We have to go to the biggest metropolis in Stoner.
Denver, Colorado!
In Stonerville, the town of Defense.
Fucking stoners.
Yeah, I know. Who do they think they are? You know what's crazy? Of all the McDonald's I've done so far on the west side, this one has the most hate. And I thought with being Stoner Town...
Yeah, Denver!
They really hate on this McDonald's. This is the most hated McDonald's I've reviewed yet, I believe. It has 1,993 reviews and only 3.2 stars.
I was high and it still tastes like shit.
Well, that's how you know it's bad.
Exactly.
I could eat ketchup on cardboard and it would be delicious.
Exactly.
I licked the box and it tastes better than the actual burger.
I can and I have.
What's interesting is a ton of 3-star reviews. So very honest reviews. It's all across the board. A ton of 3 stars. They're very honest. I love the one of the tags is smells. 18 people have tagged smells. Only 5 people have tagged drive-through.
Maybe they had a Steelers fan shit his pants.
Hey-o! And the most tagged tagline for this McDonald's is, like many McDonald's, the worldwide is homeless, which happens quite often. Wow, this is nothing but hate.
I love it.
I like this one. This one's just weird, and this is a perfect example of the 3-star Stoner. Just being far too nice. AK, 30 reviews, 18 photos, 2 days ago. Wow, very recently, 3 stars. Food and service was phenomenal. However, they forgot items we purchased and didn't put any sauce packets in the bag.
That's your own fault, man. Check the
Wait.
bag.
Can you read that again? They just say it was phenomenal, and then they forgot to put the shit they purchased in the bag with all the condiments.
I lost $12 in food, but it was still phenomenal.
I'm so confused.
I ordered 5 things. I got 1, but man, was it delicious.
Ordered 3 Big Mac meals, only got 1, but it was still delicious.
That's what I'm saying. Phenomenal. Not just good, phenomenal.
The sad look on my kid's face as I ate it, though.
Phenomenal.
Forgot my kids' chicken nuggies.
How do you even do that? Oh man, this is good shit. This is good shit here. Colorado coming out with a bang. I see 4 reviews, 1 photo, 1 star 2 weeks ago. I've been to methadone clinics with better atmosphere. Dirty, no music, no AC, slow as hell.
Fuck yeah.
This place is downright hostile. Judy is awesome, though.
Hostile? It's hostile?
Hostile McDonald's.
This guy
Who's
is like...
Judy?
I know. Who is Judy? Judy, just working in this war zone of McDonald's. She's awesome.
Detoxing and angry.
Gunshots
Extremely.
going off in the background.
Extremely. And it's him, like, robbing a drug dealer. He, like, robbed the guy for his heroin.
Well, he has been to methadone clinics.
And there's probably is AC. He's probably just sweating from withdrawals.
Yeah.
As he types. And they're ringing in his ears, just blocking out the quiet music in the background.
It's so hot in here.
And
we're aware.
It was probably extremely quick, but since he's withdrawing, 5 minutes seem like 5 hours. It writes itself. It writes itself. Well done. Well done. I love it. This is another person complaining about no AC. I don't know how that's even possible.
Denver's always cold.
I know. Exactly what I'm saying. What are you bitching about? Somebody just saying that everyone who built the place should be fired. Jeez Louise.
Probably was.
A lot of 2 stars. I'm seeing that's very honest. I like a 2-star.
Imagine going to like McDonald's and like complaining about the architecture.
I know, I love that. You know, or, like, I love people complaining about that or like the decor.
Yeah.
As a dude who builds buildings, though, like McDonald's is the worst.
Oh yeah, big time.
Like even going through the drive-through and you see some like the flashing work and stuff, you're like, that is god awful.
What I always love is the is you can just see like people, they've installed all those barricades now, like all those poles, you know, so people don't like grind up against the building. Yeah. And you can see those things are scraped to shit. Oh, yeah, they're scraped to absolute shit. But the one I went to I went to McDonald's in Walnut Grove.
Yeah.
And they had like one of those barricades right by, it's a straight shot too. It's an absolute straight road. There's no turning, curving needed in the drive-through area. But they have one gigantic pillar right before the pickup window. I'm like, what the? This is kind of weird. Now I have to reach over to grab my shit. But that thing was scraped to fucking hell. And it's straight.
Yep.
Here's a good one here.
Yeah.
2 stars. I see 34 reviews 3 weeks ago. Another recent one. Very slow, even for the 6th street location. I guess the other ones on this street are quicker. There's no air conditioning, which makes the wait even more unbearable. The staff is polite enough, but they constantly scream across the kitchen and store.
That's hostile.
That is hostile. Not to mention, I was very annoyed at the lack of organization in regards to lining up, as well as no floor stickers reminding customers to keep their distance. I'd rather walk up to East Colfax. All right.
I guess Judy wasn't working.
She was on break.
Yeah.
Here's an interesting one with as a full 5-star. LK, 177 reviews, 190 photos. 3 weeks ago, 5 stars. McDonald's is clean, not very busy. Too many homeless around, but the bathroom is under code lack.
What?
Too many homeless around, but bathroom is under probably key lock. Probably is what they meant. Yeah. Renovated.
That's understandable.
That's like most McDonald's. Different from other McDonald's. Okay. Different. You wash your hands outside of the restroom, which is convenient for those who just need to wash their hands without using the restroom. Bathroom emoji. Soap and hand dryer are here in a sink for each individual faucet. Thank you. Highly recommended.
Nice. Good job, Judy.
So weird. That was one of the weirdest reviews I've ever read in my life.
About food.
Thanking them. I know.
I think it was more about the sink, no?
It really was. They were in love with that sink.
They reviewed the sink.
When I had to wash my pants in that sink, it was incredible.
I'm a Steelers fan, and I shit my pants. I was very fortunate they had a sink outside the washroom, as I didn't want to ask for a key, because I had shit my pants.
I was in quite a rush to get this stain out of my pants. The holes in the sink were wide enough to fit my nuggets down.
My human nuggies.
Here's a good one. BF, 27 reviews, 8 photos, 2 weeks ago. All these are very recent. 1 star.
Fake news.
Very.
They're all too recent.
Oof. Where do I start? Hot, long lines, homeless people, and staff yelling and cussing the whole time. Go somewhere else. Very interesting. Not. I thought that review was going to have a bit more with the oof. I thought with the oof starting off, it was going to be much more controversial, but I was mistaken.
When I was a teenager and worked at McDonald's, I used to love when people told me they'd never come back.
Oh, and
okay, bye.
It's like. The reason you're upset is because it's way too busy. You think I care if you're not going to come back?
Thank God. Someone mad because the DoorDash took 2 hours. But this is a good one here. That's on
DoorDash.
That's on DoorDash. This person, they got, it looks like just a wad of spit on their bun. No, nothing else. No ketchup, literally half a slice of cheese, and next to no sauce on my sandwich. Pretty pathetic. Look at that picture.
Ew.
And that's
not spit. That's jizz. That is jizz.
That's a hearty load right there.
Jesus. What did you say to the person?
I know.
You pissed Judy off.
I know that.
You went and pissed Judy off.
That there was no excuse. Pissing off Judy is the ultimate sin.
How dare you?
Someone mad that
Judy is a saint.
Somebody mad that they walked there and just to find out it was closed for modeling. 1 star.
That's not their fault.
It's not their fault they were modeling.
Yeah.
One person. Okay, let's end it with this one here. It's just ridiculous. I love it. Someone just doesn't had some time on their hands, I guess. MM1 review and new podcast newbie review. 1 star 4 months ago. IDK. I just didn't like it. I don't know. I just didn't like it.
Wow, thanks.
And it was IG, I guess.
Okay.
Wow.
Thanks.
I don't know. I just didn't like it, I guess.
Now I know.
Fucking Gen Zs.
What an awesome review.
I don't know, because I didn't like it.
What an awesome review.
Now everybody must know that I didn't like it.
Here's a piece of shit just saying gave him 5 stars.
Yeah.
Lots of drama and riffraff, a fun-filled time here. 5 stars 2 years ago.
Nice.
And he's taking a picture of everyone sitting down eating. Like, what a fucking prick, man.
It's a fucking war zone in here!
And everyone looks very calm. Everyone looks very calm and just enjoying their McDonald's. Like, the place actually looks pretty clean and well put together. Calling it a war zone. Does that look like a war zone to you?
No.
Everyone's seated properly.
That guy
Looks like a decent
some guy got PTSD from that. I'd be annoyed. Especially if I heard like the camera thing go off.
Well, it looks like there's that one guy like looking right at him. He's like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Well done, McDonald's in Denver. I think this could be the best one so far. Let's take a little breather. We'll be right back after these brief messages.
Are you sick with COVID but don't want to go to a regular hospital where they'll insert 5G and kill you with COVID? Come on down to YouTube Hospital, where we'll give you the latest horse medicine we have, cure you up within days and send you home. YouTube Hospital, come visit today.
Ivermectin in every IV.
We buy it straight from the guy in the van.
Are you looking for work and looking to earn up to $3,000? Work from a hole and earn $3,000 a scream. You can do it too. You've probably thought to yourself, I'm trapped in a serious hole. There's no way to become a millionaire. Sounds like somebody I know. An idiot. Turn your suffering into thick chunks of cash. Sign up today and get paid for wallowing, distressing, wailing, muttering, pounding your head against an immovable slab, abandoning all hope, and at most holding on to a final shred of hope, and then losing it again. Embrace the darkness and earn. Work from a hole today, as seen on YouTube. Turn serious screaming into serious cash. Are you tired of going to a restaurant and getting everything you ordered and it's tasting delicious? Well then try McDonald's, where disappointment is our middle name. We'll fuck it up. We'll jizz on it. We'll spit in it if you're lucky. And you better double check that Coke, because it's probably just all carbonation. McDonald's! We've made a business out of fucking your shit up since 1955. Welcome back, folks. Hope you enjoyed our commercials, and go grab yourself a cold, tall glass of water in the house. You know I'm talking motherfucking tap water. Let's talk some fucking video games. Loving the PC, just loving. I had a moment too where I was like switching from Grim Dawn to Sea of Thieves, and it was literally less than a minute. I was in game playing Grim Dawn to turn that off and to have Sea of Thieves up and running within 60 seconds. That's just unheard of. What a PC? Where have you been all my life? Just loving it. loving Grim Dawn, actually. Grim Dawn is really tickling my fancy. Such a good mixture of, of WoW and Diablo. It just a perfect mixture of both, I find. Unfortunately, I bought it with a bunch of guys from work, where the one guy got the super extended version, and I just got the plain $7 version because it was on sale, when I could have got all of them for $30. But I was like, am I going to really play this game that much? And I should have, because now I found out we can't play together. I can't, because he has the extended version. He has to install everything, just install the basic version, and lose all his progress, obviously. So I'm just going to wait for it to get on sale again, then I'll buy it. I really do enjoy it, because I was on the fence about it beforehand. Should have went with one thing is Steam reviews. You know what I mean, Kelly? Steam reviews are very accurate. If you see a game that is highly liked, chances are it's an awesome game, and Grim Dawn is one of those, and it's an awesome game for 4 years old too. I'm really enjoying it though. Just the fighting the different enemies, the getting the gear, the treasures. Even I was in a dungeon the other day, and I accidentally shot a wall, and the wall blew down, and it was a bunch of treasure chests in there. It was total off the map, just one of those treasure things. And I just love treasure hunting games like this. These dungeon crawling treasure hunting games. You're battling zombies, battling just different shit. Hack and slash too. This is a total hack and slash game, but I'm getting it now where it's all about the attacks really. Rather than specializing on the major attacks, I've just been adding all the other attacks. So now I have I got a pipe bomb. So I have a pipe bomb, a grenade, a flashbang, and I throw on these shocking things too. So it just I get into these huge groups and just get tons and tons of experience. So I'm just murdering fucking countless hordes all at once. It's really, really a lot of fun. That's why I would like to play with other people, because it just seems just like a really, really fun game. It would be a lot even better for multiplayer. There's the chaos that'd be going on from you and another dude just wreaking havoc with all your special attacks and shit like that. I really love it. I really like it a lot. I've kind of I didn't do that much this week with progress. I made it to level 20, but I just been tidying up loose ends. So I kind of rushed up ahead. It's only kind of the weird thing is they don't really have quest markers. Like they have the quest marker when you see it, but they don't guide you towards the quest. So I think that's a bit tough, you know what I mean? But it kind of does cause you to explore the map more. And that's what I've been kind of getting the gist. I've been kind of getting the gist of it, having to use my brain and not just following a trail. So it's fun that way, and just the different weapons. I'm really liking my class. Using a gun, I think, is fun for these games too. A hack and slash game with a gun is pretty fun. And like I said, I'm just really enjoying fighting the bosses. I'm at a part right now where my dude's actually pretty tough with just everything you do, and it has really a huge WoW feel. That's why I think it'd be very interesting to play online and just to see how toxic that community could be after 4 years, especially. Yeah. But speaking of the game, switching over to Kelly and I have been playing Sea of Thieves quite a bit the last few weeks. Just absolutely loving it. We had some awesome battles. Playing the game and just battling other ships and having other people join us too. Have a 4-man crew, I think would be a lot of fun. Tried out the galleon, but it was obviously a bit tough. With only 3-man crew on the galleon, it was definitely tough. But to try out the swoop, I think it's the brigantine is the middle ship. Really loving the brigantine. It's obviously not as maneuverable as the small ship, but it's still a lot of fun. Sailing the 7 seas. Battling the different ships, battling the ghost ships. It was funny. Kelly and I had quite the encounter just recently when we saw a big boss. We fought a boss fight before. I think that's the fun part about the game is go towards danger. That's what we like doing. We go towards the danger in the game. Win or lose, we have laughs and we have some fun. We don't play. You know what I mean? We don't play. Yeah, we don't play serious, and we lose sometimes. We lose most of the time.
Yeah. And it's still fun. And
there's tons of fun. Just the havoc of the battle. You taking on water and reloading cannonballs and harpooning the other ship and different shit like that. And but we saw this huge boss, and so as soon as you get close to the dude, it goes into this kind of somewhat of a cut scene where he's talking to you. And these are ghost ships; they aren't like the skeleton ships. These are actual ghost ships. And I'm like, okay, Kelly, let's corner the biggest one. He's off to the side. Let's go near him. And as soon as we even got anywhere close, after this huge giant skeleton head had gone through his whole monologue, these ships just started opening fire on us, and we just had to get the fuck out of there. We were just taking on so much damage, instantly. There it is, just going crazy. I don't even know how the hell you'd have to come in with a team in order to beat that boss. That's just insane. I don't even know what the hell you'd have to do, or if if you can even fight these ghost ships. Really,
I think it definitely needed a team of people,
multiple ships.
Yeah, kind of ask people, hey, you want to team up?
Pretty much.
Maybe you have like a clan going. I don't know.
Yeah. You know, but maybe that's one of those things. Like you know, the MMORPG. It's one of those raid bosses.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a raid boss where you got to get multiple people online at the same time, all with the same goal in mind and a game plan as well to attack this boss and coming at it strategically.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had a lot of fun, you know, and I think that's the thing too. You know, we're all getting way better. That's the thing. You know, it's an interesting game for that, where there's not really a goal in mind, really, because everything you do, all the missions you do, all the items you get you coin just for cosmetic reasons.
Yeah.
They make you not better at all.
Yeah.
It's just strictly cosmetic. So the main thing you need in the game is experience. You need experience. Yeah, it's a total skill based game. You need experience in sword fighting dudes. You need experience in driving the ship and battling the ship while driving and firing cannons while you're rolling on the high seas. You know, I think Kelly made a great point about it. Just the physics of the water. I just really enjoy. I really love sailing, and I just, you know what I mean, just sailing alone, and the physics of the water, how you plow through the waves and all that different shit. It's soothing to me. It really is quite soothing to me. And I really do enjoy the game quite a bit just for how simple it is, really. Because I don't know if, you know what I mean, buying it is one thing. I think, you know, obviously getting on Game Pass is another thing. Just, you know, having the game, and I think it'd be recommended just because it is a super fun game. But you 100% need friends. You 100% need friends to play. It's one of those 100%. Playing by yourself.
I've done it today.
I know. Playing by yourself is good for the experience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's definitely great for the experience. But I just think in order to get to that next level.
Yeah,
you know
if you want to actually do battles and stuff like that. Like, I took out the medium ship just by myself today, just in case anybody wanted to join.
Oh, nice.
But, I was just sailing around looking for seagulls and anything I could find, jumping in water. And made, like, a ton of cash just grabbing, like, shit off the water itself, or sunken ships.
Nice.
Sold that, bought, like, a new skin for the boat. Looks pretty decent. I think you can play yourself, but you can't, like, do the actual battles and stuff like that. You're just going to be running. I mean, I did see one of those little ships. What is it? The sloop, the smallest one. I saw one of those and chased it just because I thought it'd be funny because I have a bigger ship, and they actually did run.
Oh, for sure.
So it was just me chasing them, but just being funny.
That's hilarious.
And then they ran, but yeah, you know, you can't play alone if you just want to get treasure and skins and run.
Oh yeah, it's just the limitations hit you pretty quick.
Yeah,
you can totally play alone. Absolutely, that's how I played the game when I first got it. I played quite a bit by myself.
Yeah, one thing I didn't like in the beginning was like I love the water graphics, but like the cartoonish everything else was kind of bothering me in the beginning. But now it's like grown on me. It's like, you know, it's Disney graphics.
Yeah, it pretty much is.
But it works with the game and the dynamics and stuff like that. It makes everything a little bit more visible. So yeah, no, I'm really enjoying the game. I still like think about that time we were like in battle with that ghost ship, and then another huge ship comes up and starts smashing us from the other side, and then the whole fucking Kraken comes out.
Yeah, that was just insane. Yeah, absolutely.
But me and my brother, we took out like one of the small ships.
Nice.
And we went up alongside one of the biggest ships and just started blasting it. And I don't even think you could see us, because they're so tall and we're short.
For sure.
And we just started launching, and I could hear the guy go, like, what's going on? Because I was just, like, quick fire and launching right into the side of the ship. And we almost sunk it, but then we took off.
Nice.
It was just fun anyways.
Of course.
And then, yeah, my son started playing it the other day, too. So he has it.
Nice.
He's just going on. So, yeah, lots of people playing that.
Well, that's the thing about the you know, those big galleons, you know what I mean? They're hard to maneuver.
Yeah.
You know, but obviously they get a volume. You know, like we tried to sneak up on that one galleon, you know, with his sails are up, and we think, it was my dumb idea.
Yeah.
Let's go sneak up. Maybe they're on the island plundering or doing whatever, doing a mission. Let's go sneak up beside them, and I think we can get them. We pull up, no, they were waiting for us. Yeah, they just opened fire on us as soon as we came into view, and they just destroyed us like nothing. Funny. I jumped ship to try to get onto their ship. And these guys were so skilled, they shot me in the water. I've never been shot dead in the water before. So they had a whole team ready just to fuck us up.
Yeah, that was fun.
That's hilarious.
The one thing, Kelly, is before you get into your Apex shit, about our Apex playing together too, playing Apex together, man, we were doing some pretty good with this with the squads, man. We were having a lot of fun, and that one battle we got into was the absolute best. You know what I mean? Getting into it, you know what I mean? I love the squad game, like you said before, just learning the guns. I think it totally helped my game with learning the guns, learning the kind of like the aiming, really, because I'm switching over to a controller from a mouse, is obviously a transition to come back to that, and I'm enjoying the keyboard and mouse as opposed to the controller. I think I'm a little bit quicker with it, as opposed. I'm definitely not dying as much. I'm still dying, but just getting the swing of that. Getting used to a gun, getting used to how a gun recoils, getting used to how it shoots, and what its limitations and what expectations out of that gun are. I think that's what's really helped me with that one battle we got in was just insane. I think we were tied 2-2 going into the final round. Our buddy got shot. Our buddy was actually really good. I'm finding we were getting better teams and squads with that third guy. And Kelly's still alive, and I'm in this room where I just got picked up by Kelly. I jump into this building. The circle is right on the edge here. I can hear these guys, but I cannot see them. And then all of a sudden the circle starts closing. I run through a hallway. Who's right in front of me? The last two characters on the other team. I drop the one dude, and the other dude, but their second guy, their last guy, drops me. The circle is right around us, and I block the guy as a knocked guy with my shield. I block him. He glitches out in a corner.
Yeah.
I push. He can't jump past me to get out the window. He's now freaking out in the circle, and then I totally block him and glitch him out in a corner. Boom, we win. It was one of the greatest plays I think I've ever seen in Apex.
I've never seen somebody kill two people before in my life.
And they gave me both the kills. They 100% gave me both the kills. And it was one of the biggest flukes I had ever seen.
Well, he knocked the first guy.
Yeah, the first guy was legit.
And then the second guy was trying to get out of the building because the circle was coming in. And he was just blocking it with his shield and shit.
And he couldn't jump over me. I knew I was going to die.
He won the game.
I knew I was going to die. 100% I knew I was going to die.
The other guy was just waiting in the circle. It's like, okay, these guys are going to come. They're going to come. Champion. What?
So it just was one of those crazy ass moments. We had some real tense moments. It was I'm really enjoying the Apex running around, the jumping. Like I said, I'm getting the swing of things, and I think I'm actually going to be a decent teammate down the road.
Oh, sure.
But the important thing is, like you said, we had a lot of fun. We had laughs, and sometimes we got absolutely crushed. We got swept. The other team just butt fucked us. They had us bent over a barrel and just really beat the fuck out of us. But we played again, and we had fun, and we had some laughs, and we had different things, and I'm liking the squads, and the only shitty thing obviously is you don't really, it's more battling, which is good for practice, but you don't really see your specials. You don't if you got like these big specials, you don't get to use them. I think that's the only knock, but that's what's also a positive and a negative about it. But I'm actually enjoying it a bit more than I am enjoying obviously the actual battle royale game. It
depends who you use to. Like one of my favorites is Mirage, and everything that he does you can use in the arenas or battle royale.
Oh, big time. No, you are 100% right on that one. Yeah, he is awesome. You use him a lot in the squads, and I think he's awesome in the squads. There was that one time where I was so convinced that one of your decoys came around the corner crouching, and I fucking blasted him. Because I was like, what the hell? Yeah. But no.
No, it's great because, you got the decoy, so I can send a decoy in front of me, and then I can use him as well, so he follows me.
Yeah.
And then if I'm in battle with somebody, they're shooting at the decoy, but I'm kind of like popping around a rock shooting him. So he thinks he's shooting at me, but he's not. So I like that.
They're super realistic.
The big one is where he bursts in a bunch of decoys and goes invisible for a little bit. I love using that to get behind people. Yeah. And they're shooting at my decoys and I'm shooting them in the back, dropping them. I love doing that. Also, when he goes invisible to revive people, it's super helpful on the battlefield.
Big time.
I've revived my teammates right in front of the enemy team before and they had no idea. Except they could hear the noise, but they had no idea where we were. Just like everything he does. I think Octane somewhat useful, like his launch pad, not really. But there is going to be some people who have ultimates that are like completely not useful, kind of like Lifeline, where you get the care package, where it might be something good, might not be. You know what I mean? But Lifeline's obviously super helpful, especially if she has a gold backpack. Then you lift people up at like half life, half shield, instead of just like almost dead. So I usually do buy the gold backpack. Sorry.
No, I'd like to choose Lifeline just because then I feel like I'm being more of a help.
Yeah.
Too, you know what I mean? If somebody else wants to be Lifeline, I'm always cool with that too. You know, obviously because like I said, I just so that I can at least contribute. You know, if I'm not going to be the best shooter, I can at least, you know, bring people up. And obviously, you know, having the ability to be able to lift somebody up and not have to actually be there, or just have your robot do it is huge.
One other thing I didn't know is Sheer actually had like if you aim down the sights, he tells you where the enemy is, like left or right. So I've been using Sheer quite a bit now too. And then like I love his like whole wall hack ultimate. You know, you can see everybody in his little dome. And then he has that other one that prevents people from healing and also makes them visible as well. I think everything he has works great in arenas. Especially if you like do a lot of damage to somebody and then they crouch down, start using a shield, and then you use that thing that stops them from using the actual shield.
Yeah, nice.
And then you see where they are too, and you can use your gun to like see. He's super good.
I know you were using a lot. Yeah,
I had no idea that he had that ability. It makes it so much easier.
No, good. Really, I'm really loving it. I'm loving the, you know, and I always love the like the people. This guy, I know he's like only looked for like. You know, realistic first-person shooters. It's like, why wouldn't you give Apex a try? It just sounds like an excuse to me.
Yeah.
That you're terrible.
I only like realistic ones. Well, don't play any then, because what's realistic? You can go, Warzone, this is totally realistic, man. No, you drop out of a plane with 3 people, and you fucking run and shoot the other team.
It's just a weird.
You die and instantly come back.
I just thought it was a weird concept, a weird angle, like a weird angle to go. That's your argument. Okay, very weird.
I don't think there is any realistic.
There really isn't. The realistic ones aren't that fun.
Yeah, well, like even Battlefield is arcade style.
It's totally arcade style.
To Call of Duty, it is no like.
You're not going to take 10 bullets of anything.
Yeah. And you're not like fucking walking super slow after a long time because you're super fatigued and you have all this gear on you and all that shit.
Exactly.
Oh, it's stupid.
No, it's a ridiculous thing to say. That's why I like Apex. And you know what I mean. I'm finding I'm starting to get into a groove.
Yeah.
You know, I'm starting to get into a groove of it. I'm liking it a lot. What about you, Kyle? What games did you get into this week, man?
I played a couple games. I played MLB The Show.
Oh, okay.
21. I've never played any of them before.
Wow.
And I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll play some baseball.
How was it?
It was good. Like, I mean, I'm only playing on beginner. I've never played it before in my entire life. Like, and I don't play online. I'm not really into that anymore. But I threw a no-hitter my first game, which was pretty sick. I mean, it's on beginner, so
of course, still.
Really, and then the next game, I think I allowed like 2 hits or something, but it was pretty good. So
well, he's got the fundamentals.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's long. Games are super long. And then
that's baseball for you.
Yeah, exactly. And then I find like a lot of the time you're like you hit it out to center field and it's like caught. And then you hit it out to left field, it's caught. And then you hit it out to right field, it's caught. So a lot of it's like pretty boring.
Of course, like baseball.
Exactly.
I only play realistic baseball games where you wait like half an hour for your turn to bat, but otherwise you're just watching in the dugout.
That's literally the game. That's literally the game.
Well, you could do that in NHL when you made a character.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You would just play when your guy was on the ice.
I hated that.
You know what I mean?
That was the worst.
It really was,
That's why if I ever play NHL, I still play NHL 11.
Yeah.
It was like my favorite year.
It's hilarious.
You could literally play
the whole game, yeah.
Exactly. And it was always your top line out, or the line that you were on, which was the top line. And it was awesome. I love it.
Well, it's always that time to actual real life ratio.
Yeah.
Football has it where football obviously is quicker, but since the score is quicker, like you're doing the plays quicker and you're doing the plays more excitingly, that, you know what I mean, the scores are similar to what an actual score of a football game would be. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Like, 14 to...
unless you're playing on rookie.
Oh, of course. But you know what I mean? Obviously, so I'm saying like an actual game against 2 people would be even a blowout would be like 40 or 50 points, you know what I mean? Which is an actual blowout type thing. But you know what I mean, there's other games like baseball. No one wants to play actual baseball time. That'd be the fucking worst.
So
but there's so much time in between, like where football is like time between time between actions.
Yeah.
Right? The time between actions in baseball is fucking gigantic.
Yeah. I mean, playing the video game, it wasn't so bad, but
of course.
it's a lot of strategy too. And I made the mistake of like I'm a beginner. Like I've
Yeah.
never played the game, and I went like full franchise mode.
That's hilarious.
Or whatever. And you know like how much is involved in
Yeah,
baseball.
exactly. Yeah.
They have
setting
like
your lineup.
They have like
yeah.
100 games in a season.
Yeah, jeez
It's
Louise.
freaking ridiculous, man. And there's so much to it. So I played like 3 games, and I was like, yeah, I don't know. And then I started playing Skyrim.
Nice, very nice.
It's pretty good.
What kind of character did you make?
I went Nord.
Nice. Like, what did you do? Are you like a warrior?
I don't know.
What do you like to do? Like, you got like a 2-handed weapon or like a 1-handed weapon?
Mostly one-handed.
Nice.
And then with the bow for like, I usually start with the bow and like kind of sneak.
Yep.
Try and like catch people off guard. You know.
Nice.
Because you get double damage. With
Exactly.
The sneak
Yep.
For the bow.
You get a quick experience from sneaking around too, because if you're sneaking
sure. around
around somebody and they haven't detected you yet, your sneak
Especially
meter
right
is going
at
up.
the beginning, too. You
Yep.
have like a lot of caves that you're going through.
Absolutely.
And you're just trying to sneak through them because you don't honestly.
You don't
like,
want to fight 4 guys at once.
I don't find like the hand-to-hand combat is like the best. I like the cut scenes where you like stab people in the face, slow motion type shit.
Nice.
That's pretty cool. But I haven't modded it yet. I kind of want to.
Yeah.
But I also want achievements.
Of course.
Because the achievements is the kind of the whole reason
why
you play,
play the game.
yeah,
exactly.
But apparently, like the mods like clean it up so nicely too.
Oh yeah, the graphic mods are the ones I would want to get. That's just shitty that the graphic mods even affect that thing too, because the graphic mods are super nice.
I don't want the cheat room. Like,
yeah.
I don't need the cheat.
I
don't need every cheat.
Yeah.
But upgraded graphics would be
Yeah.
sweet. And like the patch, the unofficial Skyrim.
Yeah.
patch. Like I would love to have that.
Absolutely,
but
fix all the bugs.
I believe on Steam they actually have like a modding tool that you're allowed to use for like graphics and stuff like that.
I wouldn't doubt it.
And you can just add it straight onto your game without having like edit the file.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, so I've been playing that. I was up till 2 last
That's
2 in
hilarious.
the morning playing, and yeah, it's pretty good. I'm kind of still on the fence, but I'm giving it a fair shot.
I was just tidying up loose ends when you were saying you were playing it. I jumped on and played a little bit too, and got a few level ups. Did one thing that I didn't realize was so good for experience was joining the Bards Guild. I had only joined them just because I had just randomly done the caves where their missions were, and I got like a flute and a drum. Just randomly going into random caves and killing everything in there and stealing all the treasure and shit. A flute and a drum. One time in Skyrim. Yeah. But you can't dump the quest items. So I'm like, fuck, okay. So I search up, what is this? Who needs this drum? Okay, it's for the Bards Guild. And I go to the Bards Guild and giving those things, they didn't give me money or items. They gave me experience in certain things. So they gave me and they didn't give me just 1 or 2. They gave me 4 level ups for different trait. You know what I mean? Like I got a level up in blacksmithing, a level up in speech from one person. Wow. So I ended up I'm like, fuck, why didn't I do this earlier? Shit. Yeah. It gave me tons, but right now it's almost even better because I'm such a high level. And I got like 2 levels from doing that. And I'm like fucking level 44 now.
I know. For me, it's my first time playing. I never played when the original, like when it first came out or anything. And so for me, most of what I'm doing right now is just trying to figure out everything.
Of course.
Like, and what I should be doing versus like the main quests. And what is the main quest?
Yeah.
Like, at this point, there's so many things. Like, even
of course.
You like walk up to somebody and they're like, "Hey, can you help me out?" And
course.
I'll give you a quest. And you're like, "Fuck!" You're trying to
Differ? I don't know.
Differentiate.
Differentiate. Yeah.
Jesus. I've had a few beers. Trying to figure out what is like important to you right now versus the overall experience, I guess.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with what you're saying. Absolutely.
Like,
that's always the hardest part about all those type of games. Absolutely. Is what's important and what's not.
Like the whole setting up all your magic shit and the scrolls. I'm still kind of working on that too, but
the best advice I can give to you is you got to go to Whiterun first. You know what I mean? So you got to go to Whiterun first. You got to talk to the Jarl. Like I don't mind.
I've already done the 7,000 step.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The first time I did it, I learned that you need to use your quick save more because I probably rode 15 minutes on my horse up to the 7,000 steps, and at the top there was a frost troll.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. The frost troll probably got you. They're tough at the early.
He killed me really
Oh,
easily.
man.
So I had to start over.
Yeah.
I eventually lost my horse.
Wow.
I was like, my horse died.
Crazy.
I was like, I'll just ride down this mountainside. And he took a few too many drops. I was like, I've gone too far. I'll just continue running now.
I'd play that game without a horse. I don't like using the horse.
I know I spent 1,000 gold on this horse.
I
was like, maybe I should get a horse. I was like, it'll be way faster.
I just find it's a bit cumbersome.
Your horse is so slow.
Yeah, and he can't really. He's good on the roads.
Yeah.
He's good on the roads, but if you want to dick around and go through different side missions, that's the hard part. You know what I mean? I like you got to do the side mission, like just jump in.
You can't talk to anybody on a horse.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't talk to anybody.
You got to get off.
You can't do anything.
That's why my exactly. You done all that. You just got to get your shout first.
Yeah.
If you go do the next mission, they'll give you the fully upgraded shout, and that one knocks people over.
So I went to the place where you get the horn.
Yeah. And there's a note there.
Yeah, there's a note there.
Yeah.
I went and met the girl.
Yeah.
And then she gave you the horn. But then it was 2 a.m. I was like, I'm going to bed.
Yeah, go cash that in, and those guys just give you the full main shout, which blasts dudes away. It'll be a huge lifesaver for you.
Well, she wants you to go on another quest.
Yeah,
too, so I was I'll follow her. And then I was like, I don't know whether I should. See, that's what
I would dick around. Yeah, I would start doing some dicking around. That's what I enjoy. Just see, there's a location I haven't discovered yet. I'm gonna go over to it, go into whatever building it is, and then the only advice I can give to you as well is shit to avoid is anything with fall mars right now. Those blind elves. They're really fucking annoying and tough, and they usually have these bug dudes with them that are really hard as well to fight. I would have if you get into a cave and start noticing those guys, I would leave and just go to the next one, just because they put up one hell of a fight. You'll be going through potions like crazy. They'll put up a hell of a fight.
I suck right now, so.
No, I think I mean that's the fun. I enjoyed the beginning just because it's really molding your guy. Yeah. You know what I mean? And if you want to do like or girl.
I'm a girl.
If you want to do like a hybrid person of like a bow and a fighter, I think that'd be really a lot of fun. If you join in Whiterun too, you can join these. I think they're called the companions, is what they're called. They give you a lot of good missions and shit down the road too. Or the Thieves Guild. The Thieves Guild is a lot of fun.
I wanted to do a new girl character in Mass Effect, but I'm kind of bored of it right now.
Well, of course, you played it so many times in such succession.
I'll just be a girl in Skyrim, And then
there you go.
Worked pretty good.
There you go. All right, let's continue on here with the Clicking Knee podcast here.
The two Crips.
Let's talk some MMA with Bellator 266, Romeo versus Davis.
Boo.
I didn't watch it.
It was the one thing I want to say is I love it that it was free on YouTube for all us Canadians.
You sabotaged it after you said it was good start.
I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it. No, I'll break it down. I didn't think it was a terrible card. I didn't think it was terrible. It was okay. It wasn't terrible. It had a lot of up and coming dudes. No one really of name really in the early prelims. The kind of the first fight of the night was that I tuned in was Easy Alex Polizzi versus Grant Neal. I thought that was actually a really good fight. I thought weird decision making from the judges on this one here, but Polizzi getting the split decision. I thought Grant Neal had done enough, but he kind of really gassed and didn't do. Yeah, I guess he didn't follow up on the ground. I think that's obviously going to be his biggest knock is he just didn't do enough on the ground when he did get the takedowns against Polizzi, who's a Division I All-American wrestler. Grant Neal, who actually was played in the Little League World Series, was the best Little League football team in the nation in America when he played for them, and the running back for that team, and also his best friend is Christian McCaffrey. Yeah, was this Grant Neal's guy's best friend. Yeah, and they won the Little League World Championship in football on the same team together. Wow. Yeah, I know. And they played on the same college team together, too.
Holy shit.
Yeah. But this dude was tough as nails, but he just gassed out. 205s, these guys were real small for 205ers. That's what I thought. When these guys were 205ers, I thought, holy moly, these guys are really, really small for 205. But Alex Pleasy, it was a tough call. Tough call for that one. Yeah, I think he won the third, but I don't think he won the second or the first. But he had an Arby's tattoo. Just a big-ass old Arby's tattoo on his chest.
Did you get free Arby's?
I know. I would do that for free Arby's. I love Arby's. I'm just more jealous I didn't think of that tattoo sooner.
Imagine you're in the UFC and it's the only way to get sponsored.
Reebok tattoo? Wow.
Good job, Dana. You fucked us.
Well done.
Dana can't say no to that. It's a fucking tattoo.
The best part about that fight is because on the prelims, they had like a different announcer than Mauro Ranallo with Big John as the color guy.
Yeah.
And he goes, these fighters are going to sleep well tonight. Like,
okay.
Like, what a weird thing to say. They aren't 5-year-old kids that went to the park all day. They're like grown-ass adults who just brawled for life and death in a ring. They're going to sleep well tonight. I thought, this is why you're on the prelims. I just thought, what a odd analogy. Like I said, I've seen that analogy used towards children.
And dogs.
Oh, exactly.
Like puppies.
Exactly. He's going to sleep well tonight.
Thank God.
I just thought it was hilarious. He's going to sleep well tonight. Good win for Saul Rogers, finding a home at 155 with a big win over Georgi Karyakian.
What a name.
I know. Big win. Saul Rogers looked good at 155, and he's going to be trouble for anybody else. Georgie taking the fight with 10 days' notice. He looked like it. He just kind of got ragdolled. Local favorite and huge San Jose Sharks fan Deanna Bennett taking a close decision against Alejandra Lara. That was a tough fight. She really came in guns a-blazing in the first round, beating the crap out of her. I think that was obviously the first round was the 10-8 round over Alejandra Lara. Just really getting that full mount on her back and just pounding the hell out of her. A lot of punches to the back of the head. I don't know if, were some of them intentional? I don't think so. I think she just was firing at will. You got to control your weapon at all times, but, Big John brought up a good point where, Lara was turning her head mid-punch, and for Bennett to obviously not punch her, and then turn it into a legal blow at that time, I think it was they gave her the benefit of the doubt. And it was a huge win for her over a, former title contender in Alejandra Lara. We see the next one here, which I must have been in the bathroom or something, because I missed this fight, and I totally forgot about it. Was Nima Gracie getting the quick win, TKO win over Mark Lemminger. Huge win for Nima Gracie. Mark Lemminger, I know he's kind of fallen underneath a losing streak as of recently here. Going 2 losses and then a win, and then now another huge loss. This was going to be his big fight. At least Bellator put him together with a tough dude in Nima Gracie, who's coming off of some losses himself, and losing to that close decision to Jason Jackson and obviously to Rory McDonald as well. But a big statement to get back in the winning column for Nima Gracie representing the Gracie Gym. And we go to the main event of the evening, to Kelly's disdain. Phil Davis taking the sure-handedly win over Yoel Romero. How this was split decision, I do not know.
This is my question. Do you think that Yoel got old overnight with his whole medical situation or whatever? Or do you think it's more of a case that this is Yoel against people that are on steroids?
Whoa!
Because there's no USADA in Bellator.
Yeah.
So it's Phil Davis is quite the specimen. I don't think Yoel's fought somebody who looked like that in the UFC in a long time.
That's true.
So he's tall as Izzy but fucking jacked.
Well, he's fighting 205. He's gone up a weight.
Yeah.
The eye injury was his injury. I guess his eye was really fucked up. He got a bad eye poke in training camp.
Oh, okay.
Is what had happened. His eye did look kind of jacked.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those weird things. Yoel has been very questionable for the TRT and other things as well.
Yeah, but he's not really been popped.
He hasn't been.
Right?
No, he hasn't. That's true. But It's just one of those things. I think his age has finally caught up to him. 40. He looked 44 in this fight.
Yeah.
I think the ring rust, 18 months, I think was the bigger part of it.
Yeah.
He wasn't really caught. He was kind of checking his blows. You know what I mean? He wasn't really throwing he was, throwing half punches, throwing half kicks. He just wasn't fighting with that urgency. You know what I mean? I don't know about the whole thing. He thought it was a 5-round fight at the end. Did you see that at the end?
Did he?
He's protesting the end, thinking the fight was going to still continue to go.
Oh my God.
He thought he was fighting a 5-round fight. I don't know if I believe that entirely.
But you have to sign a contract and train and...
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if I entirely believe that.
Because if he
lost in translation,
because
he was protesting at the end, thinking the fight was still going to go, but he was really getting the crap kicked out of him in that third round. You know what I mean? So that's why I don't think he was being truthfully honest. And it's just still, he was getting whooped those 3 rounds. He was getting taken down. Especially the third round, he was just getting manhandled in the third round, and that's when I thought, we'd never seen Yoel been manhandled like that. Was Phil Davis juice to the gills? Could be. Probably. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. You know what I mean?
If I had to put money on it,
he's got like a 12-pack.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He is
at
super shredded
too.
Yeah.
That would be a tough fight for anybody.
Absolutely.
Let alone somebody who fought 185 and is almost 50.
I just think, Yoel would come out. He'd come out with a kind of almost that, with that Tyron Woodley style, come out, 2 big shots, miss them both, and then kind of give up for the rest of the round.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was just one of those things. I wasn't super impressed with it, to tell you the truth. Obviously, coming with some ring rust. I think Bellator, UFC is happy by this. Bellator is going to hope for more return on their investment though than this. But they threw him against a very tough dude. Phil Davis has been in Bellator for a super long time. He only has 3 losses in Bellator. The interesting stat about Phil Davis, he has never been finished.
Wow.
His entire career, 29 fights. UFC, Bellator, never been finished.
That's interesting because I've actually never finished one of his fights before.
Wow! I know, that's the reason why I didn't know about that stat. Because I already turned it off. Mr. Unwonderful, exactly. His first loss was actually to Rashad Evans back in 2012.
That's the worst stat.
Exactly. And then he lost to Rumble by decision. Ryan Bader by split decision. And then Ryan Bader again in Bellator by split decision. And then the 2 losses to Vadim Nedkov, one by split and then one by decision. And absolutely, he's definitely a dude who's going to bore the hell out of you. Yeah. Hey, but you know what? This was, I think, Phil Davis's most exciting fight. I'm going to say that. It was his most exciting fight. He was active on the ground. Those takedowns were really nice. He wasn't stalling up against the fence. And I thought he was actually throwing stuff. Like, I'm the big Phil Davis's biggest hater.
Yeah.
I can't stand the dude. He's so boring. But I think this was his most active fight I've ever seen him fight in.
I almost feel like Yo was a perfect matchup, though.
Kind of was, yeah, because he really wasn't doing much.
Yeah, he's standing there. He's just a bit shorter.
And getting taken down at will.
Yeah.
Getting taken down at will. But, you know what I mean, with that, go to really, give fuel to the fire to Kelly's argument that he was juiced to the gills, he puts on his best performance of his life at age 36.
Against an old man.
Against an old man, exactly. He hasn't cycled enough. That's the problem with Yoel. His cycle hasn't gone through yet of all his drugs. So,
no, I'm pretty sure he has those timed perfectly now.
But
experience.
But nevertheless, huge victory for Phil Davis. He will not be. I thought he was going to be getting a shoe-in to be the replacement for the 205 tournament with obviously Rumble Johnson with a mysterious illness, having to withdraw from the tournament with a mysterious illness, not
COVID.
Saying much. It must be. It must be COVID.
Everyone's saying it's not.
Really?
That's all the reports saying it's not COVID. I'm reading most of the things saying it's cancer.
Wow.
Oh,
a lot of people coming out and saying, hey, we love you and support you and all this other stuff. A lot of people. One guy was Josh Thompson, who is almost best friends. He's really, really good friends with him. Was just, almost in tears saying, we love you. We hope for your speedy recovery, because he obviously knows that something is going on, but didn't want to say it until obviously Rumble says it too. And that was kind of a tell right there. But his replacement will be Julius Anglickas will be his replacement and will be taking on Vadim Nebkov in the light heavyweight Grand Prix tournament, Bellator 268. Speaking of UFC, let's talk some UFC Ultimate Fight Night 192 Smith versus Spann. Good card. They put on it. It was a little. I thought it was a little bit slow in the undercard, but they picked it up. Tafon and Jukwi getting a huge win over Mike Rodriguez. Man, what a beatdown that was! How Mike Rodriguez took that beating. These are two huge 205ers, and Mike Rodriguez just took shot after shot after shot. Joaquin Buckley with a huge statement win over Antonio Arroyo. He was really getting beat up that fight, and then just to come back and just really put on kind of a punch behind the, totally legal, but it was a punch that caught him, clipped him well behind the head. That's just what happens when you're swinging leather, and Arroyo goes down and gets pounded off that. And Joaquin Buckley with a huge victory, getting back in the win column against a dude he was supposed to lose to. Raquel Pennington getting a huge win against Piney Kanzide. Huge win over the Ultimate Fighter winner, and I think it was Kanzide's first loss since coming over to the UFC. Basically, huge loss for her.
I just want to update. I found a thing. He actually said it wasn't COVID.
Okay, it was not COVID.
Yeah.
We can confirm it is not COVID. I think you're right, Kelly. It must be. It's got to be the worst of the worst.
Well, there was a theory, but you know how theories go with whatever.
Yeah.
But there was a theory that he's done so many cycles that he's having organ failure.
Oh, I bet this dude fought at 170, Kelly. 170 pounds, and now he barely makes it at 265.
Yeah, well, that's the other theory. So it's two rolling around right now. One's cancer, one's organ failure from too many cycles.
He needs a liver transplant or something.
Yeah, that's what
I could see that. Kidneys.
Yeah.
We see the crazy comeback victory of the year, basically. Nathan Menes TKOing Tony Gravely. Did you watch this one, Kelly?
No.
It was first round. Tony Gravely knocks Nathan Menes right on his ass, almost knocks him right out, drops him, but it was right at the end of the bell. Drops him, lands two more punches, saved by the bell. He gets up, so he's okay, but he definitely got dropped. Come the second round, it comes back in, almost in the exact same fashion with Tony Gravely's back up against the fence, drops him, and then follows up with still time to spare. He was not saved by the bell, and he gets the TKO victory. That was a crazy comeback victory, and I hope that those guys win the Fight Night performance. Armin Sukayan getting a crazy TKO victory over Christos Chigas, knocking him the fuck out. Ariane Lipsky getting a big decision over Mandy Baum. Ion Kutaloba, oh man, what a beatdown he gave to Devin Clark, rearranging his teeth, Kyle.
Shit.
Rearranging his teeth. Do not look at it if you're faint of heart. He didn't bust his teeth, he rearranged them. Literally, it looks bad. Devin Clark's mouth getting jacked up after all those punches he took. He took a fucking beating with Ion just tiring, basically, but Ion Kutaloba showing a good ground game. Really threatening with the rear naked choke throughout the fight. Really good showing for him to get another huge win he needed. I know.
Oh, fuck.
He broke his jaw.
Oh, big time. No, big time. That's what it looked like.
Back.
Oh, exactly. His teeth are all over the place.
That's savage.
He took some huge shots in that fight. Got dropped multiple times. That guy got the CTE award of the night. He got the CTE award of the night, man. Oh, so gross.
It broke a section of his gum and shit.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Disgusting.
He's gonna need plastic surgery.
100%.
It almost looks like he had a dental bridge or something before that.
There's an update.
Yeah,
it's all
nasty.
wired.
Poor guy.
Nasty.
And that brings us to the main event of the evening. Anthony Smith defeating Ryan Spann by a rear naked choke. Talk about another beatdown. he just landed, you know what I mean? I think that's Anthony Smith's speed and his accuracy was on point tonight. It was a must-win for Anthony Smith. For a dude who's been on the receiving end of so many beatings recently, to take out a huge up-and-coming guy in Ryan Spann, this is an absolute must-win.
I think the fight that really upped his game and made him like go to another level was when a crackhead broke into his house and he had to fight him for like half an hour straight and the guy wasn't giving up. I think that just took him to another level, man, because he hasn't lost since, I don't think.
No, I don't know exactly. You know what I mean? He realized literally fighting for his life.
Yeah.
Maybe you should have beat that crackhead up earlier.
Exactly, I know. Came into the best show of my life. And got syphilis.
He's calling out like John Jones now on the like previews.
Don't call
saying that they're like in the same place now and all this shit.
God.
They fought before, hey? Went to decision.
Yeah.
It's you know what I mean, you went from 2 losses in a row now to 3 wins in a row for Anthony Smith. Huge win, over the Devin Clark triangle choke. Who was on the card earlier? The Jimmy Crute doctor stoppage, TKO obviously got his leg. And then Ryan Spann with a huge win. All technically finishes. Coming back, he calling out Alexander Ratchik, wanting that win back because he really got manhandled in that one. Obviously, the shit kicked out of him. I think Ratchik's like, I can go for an easy payday. And I think with that, he could definitely cement himself back in in the top 15. Definitely not in the top 10 just yet. It's a long road to go for Lionheart, but a statement win. Statement win, like I said, his speed and accuracy were on point that night. We saw 2 205ers, in Bellator and in the UFC make huge wins. These 2 gatekeeper type dudes get huge wins and make their name relevant as they once were. I think we're going to see Anthony Smith versus Ion Cutelaba. I think that's my prediction. UFC loves doing that shit. Putting 2 dudes, especially with the timing, works out for it, and make that kind of a gatekeeper contendership. Then the next guy gets a top 10 guy. Only time will tell. Good card by the UFC, not great, but it's an Ultimate Fight Night. So what did you really expect? But could have maybe used a little bit more star power. But that's how much the UFC loves Anthony Smith, to still put him in these in headlining and having the main event of a card, and he didn't disappoint with that quick win.
What does John Jones do for money? Like, he doesn't fight.
Great call.
He hasn't fought since, February 2020. Twice in 2019. Once in 2018. Once in 2017. It's like all once. Every single year. Like, I don't know.
No wonder he wants more money.
He has to pay all his expenses, his gym, his trainers. He's got no sponsors. He has kids. I don't know how he makes money. I don't know how he does it. I don't know what he does. He
sells cocaine.
Must.
The dude, I always see him doing stuff. He has 27 fights, and not all of those obviously were in the UFC, and not all of them were for a lot of money, obviously.
Interesting.
I don't understand what he does to get by.
Very interesting. Maybe he invested well?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
He has a lot of lawyer fees, though.
That's true.
Yeah, lawyer fees.
Well, maybe when he was the champ before he started, getting into trouble. Maybe he was getting more, because that was before Reebok too, right?
Yeah.
So maybe he was got a ton of money back then and just invested it smartly. Who knows? Great question, Kelly.
I don't know how he can sit out for so long.
Yeah.
I know his family must be rich. NFL football.
They are, yeah.
Maybe
they
give him
are.
money. I don't know.
Who knows? His one brother doesn't play in the NFL, but the other one does still, and he's still a big player.
Yeah.
Didn't you have a brother in the NBA too?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
He must just have a rich family.
I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't watch NBA, so.
Jones family aplenty. Well, then let's wrap it up here, guys.
2 hours.
Great show. Just keep filling the space, filling the time. Just want to give a special shout out to everyone out there listening, all Spotify peeps. Keep it coming. Keep it listening. Putting it on your car stereo. And just putting it on for the dog when you leave the house. I know they love my voice. Or just putting it on while you're going 69 and with your significant other. Whatever you guys like to do. Could be multiple options there.
No judgment here.
No, multiple options. Could be 2 guys, 2 girls, guy girl, guy girl, girl guy. Whatever floats your boat. As long as you listen to our show in the background, that's all that matters. Well, then, for producer extraordinaire Kelly and for co-host extraordinaire Kyle, my name is Steven, and you've been listening to the And New Podcast.